Alright, hey guys, it is Ornlu, and well, KotD3 is upon us, and I guess I should join the low-hanging fruit for content creators, and that's do my own overview of the players. So there are 64 players in this iteration of KotD, so double last time. There's, $17,000 for first place, 9,000 for second, 4,000 third for fourth. And this is going to be the biggest tournament for quite some time, and has been the biggest tournament prize pool wise since Hidden Cup 3. And in terms of, I think, competitive, I guess, glory, I don't know, prestige, I guess, that's a better word. This is definitely, I think, higher than Hidden Cup by a lot. As this is KOTD, so it's all Arabia. And they have a Civ draft that they're going to do. I don't know if that's listed here, but yeah. Essentially, it's just a Civ draft, and there's some bans, some snipes, and some extra Civs, so it's pretty standard settings. I will say that the variation of Arabia that they use for King of the Desert is much more open than standard Arabia for DE on ladder, so it's going to be much more aggressive. There are no cliffs. The woodlines are much more spread out. So definitely we'll be seeing some aggression. So with all of that rambling aside, I will give you my breakdown of the brackets, the people who I think are going to advance, the people who won't, and all of that stuff. Try and do this fairly quickly. Hopefully you can see all the players, by the way, guys. I can't actually zoom anymore with it being, like, readable, but I kind of like having the background and whatnot. Looks a bit nicer than just full screen. So anyway, the way this works is there are 4 different groups, and this is just single elimination bracket to get from 64 to 32. And then the 32, like once you get past the round of 32, you get into the top 16, which is going to have 4 GSL style groups. So, opening matches, winners match, elimination match, decider match, same as OBNC. And then you'll be having 8 players in the quarterfinals that will go on to another single elimination bracket. So, with that aside, let's take a look at these groups. Number 1, Viper versus Komtan. Yeah, Viper. I guess I could look at it into each qualifying spot. That would probably make a bit more sense. So, Viper versus Komtan, that's going to be a blowout. Hoang Licks is going to be hilarious to watch. I'm sure a lot of people are very excited for this because you have Licks, Mr. Crazy Aggression, forwards, towers, all that stuff against Hoang, who's Hoang. Honestly, Licks should win fairly comfortably, but it's Hoang, so that should at least be an entertaining series. And then whoever wins will just lose to the Viper. To be honest, don't really see this spot going to anyone other than the Viper. Here we have Capache, Zoopy, backed in Vodka L. Now, this is a much more interesting set of 4 players. It's really unfortunate that, 3 of these 4 are going to be eliminated. Capache versus Zoopy, I think this is a matter of Capache being in shape right now and Zoopy not. But it still should be at least, I think, a semi-decent series. I think Capache should take that. And then Backed versus Vodka L. Again, I expect Backed to take that, but Vodka L is a great up-and-coming player. So that will also be interesting to watch. And then between Backed and Capache, I think it is a matter of who's playing better that day. Backed is still insane when he's not going full potato, and Capache is just getting stronger and stronger and stronger all the time. I might even favor him just by a little bit over Backed, just based on their current shape, but definitely I think it's going to be really good. The Max, Valas, Say My Name, and Riot. Yeah, the Max should just get through fairly comfortably. I mean, I love my man Say My Name, I love my man Riot, but although this itself should be a great match, I think it should be very close. I think the winner of this just loses to the Max, to be honest. Yeah, the Max isn't like in amazing shape for 1v1, but even a slightly out of shape the Max is probably good enough. And then last for Group A will be Dogao, FedEx, Stark, and Breh. Yeah, this is just Dogao. Easily way better than everyone else. So I think from Group A, going to, well, Group A, That is going to be the Viper, in my mind, Capache, but I think that could be very close. The Max and Dogao. That one I think is more. This is one of the more straightforward groups. Anyway, Group B. Hera. Yeah, Bug'em versus Bad Boy should be really funny. Two nomad pros. But yeah, Hera's gonna clean up everybody. Valessa, Babarum, Daniel, and Jowden. Um, Daniel and Jordan should be close. Should be a good match, but I think Valessa should fairly comfortably win. I think. But if Jordan or Daniel, either of them, makes a big upset, that would obviously be like people would go crazy, and it's not out of the realm of possibility, but I just don't think it's very likely. Tato and a bunch of people that Tato is going to kill. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Like Varl Song could be good, but yeah, everyone's gonna die to Tati. Vivi, Casva, Miguel running. Yeah, Vivi should clean up. So Vivi doesn't have the greatest tournament record ever, but we have to remember that this is King of the Desert. This is all Arabia, and it's an all aggressive Arabia. This is Vivi's playground. If you remember that, despite everything else, Vivi has, I believe, gotten top 4, at a minimum, top 8 in both of the other prior King of the Deserts. So Vivi's going to go far in this tournament. I think people would be very wrong to rule him out. So I think Hera, Valessa, Tato, and Miguel. The most interesting one is definitely going to be the Valessa, and then Daniel or Jordan. But I think that should be Valessa. Group C. Leary, and I got a bunch of people that Leary's going to kill. CL, my boy. Even though I think he's like double my age. But oh, I love CL. He is the guy who famously went full walls fast castle on Serengeti, and then went forward with 4 villagers and dropped a castle on Heart's face, and then won with like no rhyme or reason. So it would be great to see him again. Might even be a good series versus Cloud, but yeah, Leary's gonna kill everybody. Vinch, Sobek, Slam, and Jibitong. Now this is going to be interesting. I think Vinch should deal with Sobek fairly comfortably. Sobek's a pretty good player, but I think Vinch is just a cut above him. Slam, I think, should beat Jibitong, but Slam will always underperform in 1v1 tournaments, man. And then Slam versus Vinch, I think, is going to be a really sick series, and I think both are kind of in that top 20 area, not quite in top 10. But that could go either way, and I think that's a matter of how well is Slam performing. I think the more aggressive open is pretty good for Vinchester, who's a pretty good aggressive player, pretty good on like micro-y sort of forward-y sorts of things. Like here, this is a guy who can go full micro nerd with crossbows and also tower rush like the best Chinese players, right? And Slam also has excellent micro, but he's definitely much more of a defensive player, so we'll have to see how that plays out. It should be really good, though. But I'm going to go with Vinchester. I think he's looking to be in good shape, but if Slam qualified, I wouldn't be too surprised or disappointed. Nikov and people that Nikov is going to kill. Yeah, this one shouldn't be especially close. Oh boy. This is the opposite of that. Doubt, Heart, Tim, and Twig. Heart is super out of shape, so I think Doubt should do pretty well, but Heart is not completely inactive, so it could be a good series. And I think Heart, remember, got top 4 in King of the Desert 1, so it's not like he doesn't have an accomplished history in terms of 1v1s. But yeah, I think that Doubt will still win, and then Tim and Twig, definitely 2 old school legends. Doubt, of course, himself is, but yeah, I definitely have to favor Doubt. Tim doesn't seem to be in super active mode, and neither is Twig. So I think Doubt should win, but this all 4 or 3 of these games should be really good. So Leary, Vinch, although Slam is definitely a strong contender, Nikov, and Doubt is my call. And finally, Group D. Yo and people that Yo will kill. Although Modri might put up a pretty decent fight. Yo should clean up pretty comfortably. ACCM, Nilly, Fire, and Chart. I think ACCM should deal with Nilly without too much issue. ACCM's playing pretty well recently, and I think he should also deal with Fire without too much issue, but again, Fire could play pretty well. But yeah, I think ACCM is not like, oh, it's not even close, but I think he's a very heavy favorite. MBL, Sora, Ruben, AJ. Yeah, MBL is going to go through quite comfortably, but Ruben, AJ should be a really good match. I think these are two players that are definitely pretty evenly skilled. And finally, Land, Goku, Stray Dog, Dark. I think Land should go through pretty comfortably, to be honest. Yeah, I don't really see any of these other three at Land's level. So that would mean that for Group D, I would pick Yo, ACCM, MBL, and Lan. Did I pick the top seed every single time? Am I that boring? Yeah, Viper, I went with Capache, the Max, Dogao, Hera, Valessa, Tato, Vivi, oh no, Leary, Vinchester, Nikov, Yo, ACC, Lan. I think I just went with the top 16 seeds, guys. Yeah. I mean, there's definitely plenty of room for upsets and plenty of great games, but yeah, I'm going to go with the top 16 seeds, I think. But anyway, that is going to be it for this video. Definitely hope you're excited for King of the Desert. I will cover as much of it as I can, pretty much. So long as matches aren't going on at the same time, or I have class, like, during the match, I'll cast everything, essentially. But yeah, definitely shout out to Memb, of course, who is organizing this. Pins Tech and Microsoft are sponsoring it, so it should be really good. Hope you guys are excited, and I will see you then and stuff.